Hello, I'm Fast Lawyer. I'm with Oculus Rift Reviews. Today we're going to review and play Sanctuary VR. Sanctuary VR is a free-to-play game on the Steam store for the Oculus Rift. I cannot confirm whether it works on the HTC Vive or not. This is a short adventure game. It's set on a spaceship that's been apparently abandoned, and you have to figure out how to unlock certain areas to proceed.
Welcome to the Starship Korolev Unknown Ship Visitor. Please pay close attention to the following mandatory safety warnings. Serious faults. Shuttle umbilical
Log of Chief Engineer David Clark. The ship's CO2 venting system is badly damaged. Pressure failsafe malfunctioned. Pressure built up in the pipes, and the pipes ruptured. Now CO2 is venting into the ship's atmosphere, rather than out into space. The ship's computer has sealed up the bulkheads leading to different areas of the ship to preserve oxygen. But in truth, that's a mixed blessing, as now we can't access hydroponics to try and produce more oxygen. I guess the ship's computer had to make the decision of whether we suffocate now or later. Chose later. We need to repair the pipes soon or everyone on board is going to suffocate. I sent Kowalski down into the engineering tunnels in a desperate effort to repair the pipes, but he hasn't returned. I pray I haven't sent him to his death. Log of Chief Engineer David Clark. John Davis.
Log of Chief Systems Engineer John Davis. The keypad for the doors leading to the apartments area has to have a code set by default. Honestly, we don't really need a code, as there are so few of us in this dump heap of a ship, it hardly matters. I tried setting the code to something simple that everyone could remember, like 1, 2, 3, 4, but the software rejected this as being too easy to guess.
Log of Chief Engineer David Clark.
Log of Chief Systems Engineer John Davis. The keypad for the doors leading to the apartments area has to have a code set by default. Honestly, we don't really need a code, as there are so few of us in this dump heap of a ship, it hardly matters. I tried setting the code to something simple that everyone could remember, like 1, 2, 3, 4, but the software rejected this as being too easy to guess. I finally settled on just setting it to my date of birth, as anyone can access that information on the main ship database. But even that caused confusion as I set the code in the American date system, and the main database lists dates by international standard. Maybe the human race really is doomed, if after all this time we can't even agree on a way to list the damn date.
Warning. Cryogenic freezer units are extremely cold. Do not touch. If you wish to inspect freezer contents, please use your Korolev PDA.
So you just have to figure out how to unlock the doors, basically, in this game. At the same time, you're trying to figure out what happens in the ship. There's some mysterious stuff going on.
Oxygen reserves partially restored. Please consult Korolev PDA for details.
You look at the clues to figure out how to open certain areas.
Main elevator sealed. Unknown ship visitor. You do not have permission to move between decks. Please register your DNA signature at the medical bay.
It is a very short game, so it does feel like a demo or the intro for a game. And I'm using the Xbox One controller versus touch controllers. You can use your motion controllers, but it's just really used as a gamepad only, so there's really no point.
Log of Chief Systems Engineer John Davis. Congratulations on purchasing your new Biofeeder 4000. Now with the plant replication module. Unlike Galactic Grow, we at Biofeeder Inc. care about our customers. Blah, blah, blah. Plant samples for replication must be inserted in order, starting with slot 1 on the bottom right of the replicator. Yada, yada, yada. Insert feeding vials. Remove locking pin and turn water valve to activate feeding system. Enter combined feed percentage on control terminal to disperse feed. Man, I wish we had a Galactic Grow instead of this piece of crap.
So in this puzzle, I saw 22% mix plus 12 equals 40. I'm sorry, am I reading it correctly? Yeah, 40. Sorry. 22 plus 18. So now we have more oxygen. You can look at your progress here. So this has opened up the new area for us.
Log of structural engineering.
Oxygen reserves partially restored. Please consult Korolev PDA for details.
What was the last?
Log of structural engineer Hannah Richardson. This ship has seen better days. It had been in dry dock for about 15 years. A ship this big isn't designed to be kept out of space for that long. The ship was designed to support itself in the weightlessness of space, not Earth's gravity. Like an old sea ship that's been out of the water too long, the hull starts to bend and buckle. It is space-worthy, just about. Anyway, it doesn't matter. This is all we could afford, even with everyone's money pooled. It was either this rust bucket or pay people smugglers, and I don't trust people smugglers.
So we got the I thought I had opened the new area. Maybe I did. Maybe it's further back. I think it's this area that I opened. Sorry, I haven't played this game in a while. I finished it already, but it was several weeks ago, so there we go. We did open a new area, the apartments.
Log of Maintenance Technician James Graham. Among the 1,000 or so maintenance tasks this ship needs, I've also been asked to weld shut the replica postbox in the apartments in engineering. This is because a few days ago one of the children was foolish enough to climb inside the damn thing and got stuck. It took 2 bloody hours to get them out. I once played violin at the last night of the proms. The king was there. He shook my hand. Yet here I am in the middle of deep space, welding shut a replica of an item nobody has used in about 70 years. Many of us were something else before the war. Painters, actors, violinists. But during war, the world has no place for people like us. And so we become something else. If we ever reach our new home on Proxima B, I hope to play for an audience once again.
Dear Santa, Daddy says the interspace transmitter on the ship is broken, so I can't send you an interspace message. But he said the post box at the apartments is special and can send messages straight to the North Pole. I asked him why we don't use the post box to contact Proxima B, but he says that the North Pole technology in the post box is so advanced, even he can't figure out how it works. Anyway, this is what I want for Christmas. I overheard Daddy and Chief Engineer Clark saying that if they can get the second jump drive working, we could get to Proxima B in half the time. but they need something called a dark matter regulator to fix the engine. So this Christmas, I don't want any toys. Instead, please deliver one dark matter regulator to Jada Davis, Apartment 4, Engineering Deck, Starship Korolev. P.S. We don't have a chimney, so you will need to use the door. The code is 4724.
So you do have to listen to those audio logs because there's very important information on them.
Log of structural engineer Hannah Richardson. The war on Earth has been going on so long that you kind of forget that people used to do things just for fun. That's what this ship was. Fun. For people with more money than sense. It was commissioned by a wealthy Russian who made his money in the tech industry. This ship must have been magnificent in its heyday. I wonder if the people who flew in it ever dreamed it would be used by people like us, fleeing for our lives.
It does have like a nice start to a game. I'll give this game that much. Obviously the touch controls, motion controls can be used a lot better. That's why I'm using the Xbox One controller, because they're not really well made for VR. It's just basically point and click.
Oxygen reserves partially restored. Please consult Korolev PDA for details.
So now that we have that, now it says register DNA, restore plant growth. And I don't think there's anything to do here. So I think we have to go back now. And I think now we do register our DNA now. So we go to the medical hall. And the reason I'm going so fast is not because this game is so easy, but because I finished it before. I mean, it's obviously not difficult. In the end, you're just finding ways to unlock doors by going through the story.
Log of Chief Engineer David Clark. The cesium rods necessary for the medical scanner to work need to be kept at exactly 28 degrees Celsius. However, the thermoregulation chamber in the medical bay is broken, so we need another solution to keep the rods at the correct temperature. With this in mind, I have repurposed one of the apartments in engineering to act as a temperature-controlled environment. The apartment is small and can be pressure sealed.
Main elevator sealed. Unknown ship visitor. You do not have permission to move between decks. Please register your DNA signature at the medical bay.
So, unfortunately, that... Is it David Clark? Rods? David Clark?
Log of Chief Engineer David Clark. The cesium rods necessary for the medical scanner to work need to be kept at exactly 28 degrees Celsius.
28.
However, the thermoregulation chamber in the medical bay is broken, so we need another solution to keep the rods at the correct temperature. With this in mind, I have repurposed one of the apartments in engineering to act as a temperature-controlled environment. The apartment is small and can be pressure sealed. To gain access to the apartment, the temperature in the apartment lobby area will need to be set to 28 degrees to match the temperature in the room. Nobody was very happy when I told them that the radioactive rods would be stored near where someone was asleep. But I reassured them that the rods are stored in explosive-proof canisters, so the risk is negligible. People grumbled. Then I told them that on this journey, if we die, it will most likely be because we ran out of food, oxygen, water, not because of improperly stored medical rods. Everyone was relieved. I should
I do like the voice acting. I think it's pretty good, especially for a free title. But obviously, okay, so we registered our DNA and access main elevator now, I guess. So that was the end of the game. So that's Sanctuary VR. For a free game, it's pretty good. It's pretty short, and I do recommend it. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.